It's just not going to happen, man.
All right, fair enough.
Hi, everyone. I'm Phillip.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome to RCX Unfiltered. And Tess has finally shown up because, it's Tess. She does whatever she wants.
I do.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, Gregory.
Bye, Felicia.
You can't control Tess. You can only hope to contain her.
Exactly. It's really hard. I'm like oobleck,
You're like, I'm sorry, you're like what?
Oobleck. It's what you mix like the it's not a liquid and not a solid.
I have no idea what she's
Because if you hit it, it's hard. But if you
Hey, Rachel.
let it run.
Sure.
Have you never made
sure.
oobleck?
I've seen Star Trek. I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's a weird name for a gerbil.
Yeah.
I could be a gerbil.
Oobleck sounds like a troll I fought in D&D when I was in high school, but I couldn't say for sure.
The D&D Lego set is
I know, dude.
Unbelievable.
Phoebe and I were talking about this morning. I was like, I cannot justify $350.
I couldn't
for a Lego
either.
set.
But when they put up the freebie, which was the chest,
I don't.
and that's why I sent it to
I
you.
know you did, and I was like, I don't want to know.
Oh my god! I'm like, oh my god! Like I haven't bought a Lego set in a few months just because I haven't wanted to spend the money.
I haven't bought a Lego set in like a year and a half.
So, hey Megan, but it is brilliant.
It's
Like it is,
yeah.
And
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
I
I
get a
want it
freebie.
so bad, but I can't afford it.
I probably would not have bought it if it didn't come with the freebie.
Yeah.
Because the freebie was only for that weekend, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you or whatever week or whatever it was.
Yeah, well, I've been actively avoiding Lego because I want it all and I can't afford it. So
Sorry, y'all called us talking Legos. That's what we do. Lego my ego.
Phoebe has a round table in the dining room.
Does she have some knights to go with it?
No, but she has all of the Animal Crossing stuff set up on it, and it looks like a little Animal Crossing
So she
island.
bought all the
Yeah.
Animal Crossing Legos?
Yeah, they're so
Good for
cute.
her.
God, they're so cute.
Good
Yeah.
for her. I've seen them. I'm like, hey, they're
Yeah.
adorable. I do not want them, but
Yeah,
they are
for those of
adorable.
us who played Animal Crossing, they're amazing.
Yeah, they look really cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she's got it set up. She has these little boxes, so like there's multiple levels.
Oh.
So it really looks like an Animal Crossing island. It's so cute.
so years ago, I'm old. So years ago, when I collected all the Bowen statues and Bowen
Mhm.
busts, and I had shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what the best stands for those things were? VHS tapes. You could stack them on top, and so I had all my VHS
Yep,
tapes
I can see that.
staggered, and so they were up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why should I spend money on these shelves when I had all these years? I bought all these VHSs so I could throw the VHSs away or use them for little step stands.
That's brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then you got other cool stuff, right? Because they had like the Xenas and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
VHS.
That's awesome.
Well, we're back. We've survived our trips.
How was your trip?
It was good.
We haven't talked about your trip at all.
Yeah, we walked. Let's see, we walked about 30 miles because we got up early Saturday morning. We went down to Firehouse 8, which is the Ghostbusters
I saw
station.
the pictures.
Which by 8:30, I'm like, I'm done. I'm good on this trip. Yeah, it was so cool. And then so we basically walked down there and we hit a bunch of bookstores. We walked over to Brooklyn Bridge and did a bunch of bookstores,
Mhm.
went to Chinatown and then more bookstores. So ate a lot. The one exciting thing is a block from where we were staying was a White Castle.
Okay.
So I had a White Castle. It was the only time I didn't eat something local.
All right.
Well, actually, I take that back. So that night we went to a street taco vendor. So we got street tacos, and then on the way back, I stopped and got 2 White Castle burgers.
All right.
I'm like, yeah, but it was good. On the way back. So on the way back on the train, on the second stop back, I think wherever it was, I don't remember what it was. They came over the announcements, and they said that we've got to take a little bit longer stop. We apologize, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And then about like 30 minutes later, after we got going, they were like, yeah, we're sorry about that. We had to get the cops on the train and escort someone off.
Oh,
So that was pretty cool. And then the other thing, the other thing that was funny was, so we left around 10:30,
Mhm.
and then there's another silver line that's behind, like a half hour behind it.
Right.
But because we stopped, the
Yeah.
silver line caught us, so we took another track so it wouldn't be late,
Mhm.
right? So when we moved over on another track and it came beside us, we were picking up speed and we were through the area. We were kind of going the same speed. And one of the conductors after was going through everything because they just got the cop off, and he was walking around with his walkie-talkie, and over the walkie-talkie, the silver line conductor went, "Excuse me, sir, do you have any Grey Poupon?" And I lost it. I lost it. I'm like, oh my God, this is the best. I'm like, this whole train ride was
Yes,
worth
that's
just
amazing.
that. Yeah. It was the best. I was like, holy jeez. And then they just went on and we got back to us. Yeah. We did go to MoMA one day, which is the the art museum.
Yeah, Jacqueline was telling me about it this morning.
So, example, if this is the block that MoMA's on and here's the entrance, we started back here. And remember, New York is huge blocks.
Yeah.
But it went pretty fast. They said that because it was a rainy day, they're like, whenever it's a rainy day, that's when they get a lot of people.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, makes sense. So, and it was a lot. I had to go sit down.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people. So yeah, but it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I said walked way too much.
Mhm.
I think we tracked like 30 miles and all that walking. So, but lots of bookstores. There's we went into one bookstore. It was a mysteries bookstore. They only sold mystery books. And then over in Brooklyn, I can't remember what it's called. Jacqueline can tell you what it's called, but it was a bookstore that was like all romance novels.
Oh yeah, she was telling Gregory about this one.
That's all. Like I'm like, huh.
So cool.
I looked over at Jacqueline. I said, if I was a single guy.
Yeah,
because that's pretty much what it looked like in there. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, we went to lots of bookstores.
I went to no bookstores.
Good.
But Thursday night we were in Old San Juan, and we were in like the party area.
Did he okay that?
He did. He was
Okay.
like, "Yes,
All right.
get in."
Just
and I was
questions I have to ask.
I was looking at Google Maps for comic book stores because I was like, maybe tomorrow we can go to a comic book store. And of course, there weren't any. But a 15-minute walk from where we were in Old San Juan was what looked like the biggest little free library in the world. It was like an entire block with milk crates with books filled with them.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
I want to take Barnaby there.
And we did not go there because we had just had dinner and then there were drinks. And the people who made the drinks did not do a very good job of making the drinks, whereas they were supposed to be like alcohol and other things. The other things didn't really get added. It was just alcohol. Yeah, it was. Whew. So after a couple sips, we were all like, "I got guy." So yeah, we did not go to the book area.
So we had another good cop experience. So after we left the Ghostbuster place, we were like, let's go over to where the Twin Top, the memorial and stuff.
Right.
So we were walking over there, but we're like, well, let's stop and eat.
Mm-hmm.
So we were walking down a block, and then over to our left was like a Target.
Okay.
We're in the Soho area, right?
Right.
And then from our right, a cop pulled up and parked, and then also another cop car pulled up on the other side in the middle of the road and stopped.
Okay.
And then they got out of their cars and they spread out and they started heading to the Target. Jacqueline goes, "What are you going to do?" I'm like, "I'm going the other way."
Yep. Not going there.
I'm not going there.
Nope.
So, and then we went and ate and then made our way on down to the memorial and stuff. And I have found out something else that irritates me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. When I was at the memorial there, I personally seem to have a hard time with people laughing and giggling and taking selfies at the War Memorial.
Ooh.
I had a hard time with that.
Got it.
And I looked and I'm like, is this me? Like,
there's like a different generational thing.
Like,
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Like, I just like, that seems, once again, it's me. It's me. But I'm like, that seems really off to be taking selfies at the War Memorial like you're having a rave. Right? Like, once again, it's just me. I'm old. I get it. Right? Like, let's.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like put your phone away, man. That's not what this is. It's just not what.
Yeah.
Go around, look at the names, understand, read the room. Right? Like, that's like, there's a time and place for sheer stupidity. We know.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time
there. But like, and it wasn't like it was just foreigners. It was like Americans too. Like, it was.
Well, sure. I would imagine the most disrespectful people would be Americans.
It was just
young,
anyway,
who were not there when these things happened.
Yeah. Like I said, it was just odd to me. So I found another thing on my list that's very irritating to me.
Here's what I found out over the last week. And I noticed this. I had talked to a couple people about my week in Puerto Rico. And I really only talked about two things to most people. The food, which was amazing.
Well, so I went to New York.
And the driving, which I learned very quickly.
Did you drive?
Yes.
I am so sorry.
There are no rules. There are no rules to driving in Puerto Rico.
No,
none whatsoever. You
come on, man.
You just drive, and if you die, you die.
Yeah.
Although I will say, stuff that would make me like rage at people. Everybody in Puerto Rico was just like, yeah, this is what happens. It's no big deal. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, as long as you know the rules, right?
And that's the thing, man. Like, the first hour or so, I was like, what is wrong with these people? And then Phoebe was like, and we had already talked about it. Like, she'd seen some videos about like the people that drive in Puerto Rico. It's a very different environment. And they don't really care about rules of the road. Like, everybody's either driving 20 over or 10 under the speed limit. There's no in between.
Yes.
Like,
chill.
And like, nobody's ever mad about anything.
Well, think about it. I get all the benefits of a state and I can do what I want.
Yeah. And like,
it's all good.
I'd say a third of the cars that I saw had some sort of damage to them.
Yeah.
And like, I did not see an accident while I was there. I was almost involved in about 400 of them. No fault of mine.
But did you die?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's fine.
And like, my guess is if people like hit each other and they get out and they're like, whatever, and they get back in their cars and go away. Go on they go on their way. If the car's not totaled and nobody's hurt, nobody cares. Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
It is wild. Yeah. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, I made a mistake years ago. That I went to the Caribbean. And I think it was whichever island it was. I can't remember. But the group I was with thought it would be a good idea to rent a car.
Well, in Puerto Rico, you have to.
Right. Well,
everything's an hour away from everything else.
Yeah, well, and it was like, this was like St. Thomas or something.
Okay.
And then like you could take buses and stuff, but they were like, hey, let's rent a car. Oh, so you're the only one with an international driver's license. I'm like, crap. And I told them after that trip, I said, I don't really care if y'all have to walk everywhere the rest of your life. I will never drive on another one of these islands again, ever. It's insane. And like, it's probably not it probably was crazier than because Puerto Rico at least has a couple of rules.
As far as I can tell, they don't.
Oh, good.
No, there are none. But once I realized there were no rules and I could drive however I felt like, it was fine. Absolutely fine. I didn't get mad the entire time I was there.
See, so now that you said this, you also need to remember there's no rules in Maryland.
It was like Puerto Rico was like super aggressive Maryland, where because of where
But they
you
didn't
were,
intentionally try to hit you, though. That's the problem, right?
They did.
Like in Maryland, they intentionally
didn't.
tried to hit you.
But I will say also in Puerto Rico, nobody looked before they crossed the road. They just started walking.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if you hit them, it was your fault.
Yeah, that's
like,
fine. Yeah. Well, have you ever driven down the front of our shopping center here? It is exactly the same way. It is 100% the same way. Yeah. Let someone leave a pizza place here. They don't care if you're driving or not. You're like, hit me. I don't care.
Oh, man.
Like, all right.
I will say, if you ever drive in Puerto Rico, just understand there are the rules that you normally abide by driving don't exist. If you're stopped in the middle of the road and somebody's like, I would like to go around you, whether there is a lane or not,
They're going around.
they're going around you.
Yeah.
It's just pure chaos. But once you get that through your head and you start driving filled with chaos,
it's fine.
like it took me a day or so after getting back to be like, okay, I can't drive like that here. Yeah.
So the food was good in Puerto Rico?
Food was amazing.
bet.
And then all right, so we went to Crash Boat Beach, which is a pretty famous beach in Puerto Rico.
Is that where they crash boats?
I don't know why it's called that.
I mean, it seems pretty obvious.
But it's a huge beach. There's a ton of people who there was one guy who had a pickup truck and he had converted the back of his pickup truck into like a food service area.
Wow.
Like it was amazing. The food there was so good. But anyway, there's a bunch of kioscos, people who are just set up on the beach with various drinks and food. And then there was like a restaurant like right on the beach. And so like we went there and we got tacos and they were so good. It's the only place we went to twice while we were there. And then Phoebe recreated the tacos when we got home.
Wow.
And man, God, they're anyway, so good.
So just so you know, like I hate guacamole.
Yeah.
I've been to Mexico. I've eaten guacamole. There's some damn good guacamole in Mexico. I'm just saying.
I like guacamole.
Yeah, I did.
These tacos did not have guacamole.
Yeah, I despise guacamole, but man, in Mexico,
they had several things on them that I'm not supposed to eat, and I ate them anyway.
Oh, I'm shocked.
And I ate a lot of things over the week that I wasn't supposed to eat, and it didn't really hit me until today.
Yeah.
So today, my stomach hurts a lot, but it was worth it. So much good food.
I went to Four Seasons the other day.
Yeah?
On Friday.
Yeah. How was fall?
It was good.
So
it was a nice brownish, reddish color. The weather dropped 20 degrees.
Nice.
It was pretty good. But yeah, I've never been to the Four Seasons over there. I didn't know it was an old restaurant out of Powhatan.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh.
Yeah, it was an old restaurant out of Powhatan that moved over here. So that at lunch they had a meatloaf special. Oh my God, so good.
Man, now I want meatloaf.
Yes.
Look what you did.
No, it was last Wednesday. Sorry. Now I know when it was. It was last Wednesday after I got back.
I mean, most Wednesdays the bar right here has a meatloaf.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's I went there and I was like, I really want meatloaf, but we went there and it was like, man, it was really good. So good time.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, New York's the same way. Like I really just go to New York to walk around and eat.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is like all the food, all the trucks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's always some kind of market or something
Like,
everywhere.
The main thing with Puerto Rico is that the roads are all very narrow and windy. So like you can't drive more than about 30, 35 miles an hour normally. Right. So like everywhere is at least an hour away from everywhere else. Sometimes longer.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time in the car, but totally worth it, man. Like
That's
the
cool.
beaches were beautiful. There was a waterfall in that we wanted to go to, and it was a hike to the waterfall. And the hike ended up being these really narrow steps built into the side of like a mountain.
Oh, there you go.
And like going down the steps and going up the steps were miserable. But man, it was beautiful.
That's
and
cool.
there were like rocks you could jump off of, and there were some crazy people jumping off the rocks. And there was a really cool like dog there that the kids like took pictures with. Like the dog was super chill.
Tess would have stolen.
I would have.
She would have. It was beautiful.
Smuggled him into the States.
Phoebe and I like wandered off down like the creek or river or whatever it was, and anyway, it was beautiful. The whole place was beautiful. The beaches were gorgeous, and it's like the kind of beaches you see like in a movie.
Oh, you're far enough south.
We're like you're in the water and you're like, oh, my feet don't touch the ground, but I can see the bottom.
Yeah, you're basically in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And we're all back.
We are back.
All of us.
Sadly, we are back. I found out yesterday my ear itched, and I was like, "Why is my ear itch?" And I was like, "Oh, all of the skin just peeled off my ears." I did not put suntan lotion on the tops of my ears, and so they got sunburned and peeled yesterday.
Hey, that sounds fun. All right, well, enough of vacation talk.
Yeah,
let's talk Free Comic Book Day.
Ooh, Free Comic Book Day.
We're going into Free Comic Book Day next.
We're only like 3-ish weeks away from Free Comic Book Day. It's the first Saturday in May, May 4th. Yeah, like 3.5.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3.5. We're 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks from Free Comic Book Day. We have the most artists that we've ever had setting up for Free Comic Book Day. And then we've got craft vendors, and we got a vendor who's coming with some cupcakes and some nerdy snacks.
Say we're tied with the food people because it's the same food people that came a couple of years ago.
Yep. So,
which everyone loved.
Yes, everybody was super hype about them. And they were like, when they're coming back. And then they had a kid, and then there was some illness, and
people having babies.
I know.
Ruin everything.
So this year they were like, we are available. And we were like, thank God.
Yeah.
So they'll be here.
Their cupcakes were amazing.
We'll have them set up in here. So if it's super hot outside, their cupcakes won't melt on you.
Yeah, they'll be right kind of where we're at.
Yeah. I'm expecting I've been looking. Like, it's a little too far out to really pay attention to the forecast.
It's Virginia. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what tonight's going to be.
Yeah, it's fair. So we're really hoping that the weather's nice, which it usually is. First Saturday in May is usually pretty chill.
For the most part.
Yeah, but we're looking at like a lot of artists, a lot of cool people coming to set up. We're very excited. There's a lot of really good books for Free Comic Book Day.
And we started getting those in this week.
Yeah, we've got probably like a fifth of them in so far.
Yeah, they should start being hitting every week now.
Yeah, every week. Yeah, for the next 3 weeks, we should get a chunk. But yeah, we're super excited for Free Comic Book Day.
And then I get to become the destroyer of books as I put our sticker on the book. So
yeah, there's some people that get really mad about their free books having a sticker on them. I'm like, bro, it's free. Calm down. You're not grading this thing, and if you are, you've missed the point.
And GalaxyCon is sending us a kit.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. They sent an email last week. I looked at the emails while you were gone.
Okay, good.
Because I figured you wasn't looking at them.
For whatever reason, our email client won't let me log into it from my phone.
My iPhone works fine. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. It's annoying and confusing.
Anyway. They sent us an email sitting there going, hey, do you do Free Comic Book Day? We'd love to send you like all this crap. How many people do you usually have come? So I sent it back and I said this many, and they responded back. I went, okay. So I'm like, okay, sure.
Awesome.
We'll see what they're going to send us.
Nice.
They're just going to send us a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm like, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
So there'll be a whole bunch of stuff there.
So, and we usually do like the first 20-ish people in line. We give a bag full of free stuff too.
Yeah. We'll see if we have that this year.
Okay.
I don't know quite how many we got because we don't have as much. We don't have as much old free stuff as we used to have.
That's true.
Like during the apocalypse, we
accumulated a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm sure we'll find some stuff.
Maybe the first 20 people in line will give you a $1 book. Here you
go. Just one.
Here's a $1 book. We like you. We appreciate you. Here.
Wow. I love it. It's perfect.
Oh, well, Rachel said the youths did a great job with last week's episode.
Yeah.
So good job. I did watch it.
The Utes.
The Utes. The two Utes.
The two Utes.
I'm sorry. The two what? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They did not talk about books as much as we usually do,
No.
but it was still enjoyable. I had a lot of fun listening to it. I had it kind of on the background while I was doing other stuff. So
That's what Gregory and I sound like
yeah,
in the store every single day.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Did they sing?
I don't think we did sing.
I don't think they did.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Next time.
Well, y'all missed that.
It was not a musical episode.
Wow.
Next time.
So so next time it will have to be an all musical episode.
Ooh,
We could do it.
I believe in you.
We'll make them do it like a different night or something.
Yeah.
We decided we're gonna live stream whenever we feel like it. That way we keep people on their toes.
Okay. Well, I will say if
you own the Facebook
I
stuff,
know.
so I don't know.
if you enjoyed their particular brand of shenanigans,
You can follow our TikTok.
you should follow our TikTok because it is the two of them almost exclusively.
Yeah.
Like we are rarely on the TikTok. And
I rarely watch the TikTok.
I will say I watched a bunch of them while over the last week and a half, and they were very, very good. Gregory's rant about dragons
Yep.
got a lot of people commenting.
A lot of hate.
Yeah, people are real mad at him, which I found hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because he's like, dragons have 4 legs
Right.
and 2 wings.
I watched the thing.
Like, yeah, people are like, actually, those are all versions of dragons. Blah, blah, blah.
They're like dogs. You can have a German Shepherd. It's still a dog.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, okay, y'all care way too much about this.
Literally.
But I really enjoyed his whole thing where he was like, nerds don't know the issue number of every single issue where something happened. And I'm like, you were correct, sir.
So I will say, and he's not here, so I can say it. So I watched that TikTok.
Yeah.
And I looked at Jacqueline. I said, Gregory's finally made a TikTok that I did not cringe at.
No, and to be fair,
Well, once
we
again,
cringe at them because we're old.
Yes, once again, it is TikTok is not made for me.
Yep.
It is not my thing,
Yep.
which is why Tess is here,
That's
right?
why I'm here.
Like that is once again. Let me be clear. It has nothing to do with Tess. It actually has nothing to do with Gregory.
Yep.
It is just the whole
It's just
platform is cringy for me for some reason.
our elderness.
Yeah. Like this is what you like. The YouTube I like, right? It's not
The YouTubes.
The
It's much like
YouTubes.
the Facebooks.
it's like the old the old PBS channels where you used to go down to the station and do a show. That's
Yes,
really what YouTube
This is the internet version of Masterpiece Theater.
right.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yes.
we're good here. Like overall, some TikToks are just very cringy
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So like I've told Gregory, it's no secret. Like I can watch Gregory on
Yep.
TikTok and I'm like, dude, that is so cringy.
Yeah.
And he gets upset. I'm like, dude, like I'm not the audience
Yeah, we are not. Yeah. We have people come in all the time
all the time.
and talk about how much they enjoy.
God, I had to put up
TikToks
with that
and
crap
stuff.
at Comics Pro.
Yeah. We had a bunch of people who were like, are Tess and
we-
Gregory here? And we were like,
like, we
no,
had
it's just
Scott-
us. And they were like, oh.
Like we had Scholastic and like we had publishers coming up to us and asking if Tess and Gregory were there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm the one who buys your stuff.
We had people on TikTok reach out to us, like, why weren't you at Comics Pro? And I was
Yeah.
like, we're not.
Yeah.
That's not our deal.
I was like, oh, okay. I guess, well,
Oh, Rachel, we don't have time to explain who hurt me.
oh, I have a list. I'll give it to you
Yeah,
later.
I mean, yeah, talk to Tommy. Yeah, he knows. It's he's already heard all this. Yeah, it's fine. Like I'm very well adjusted for my backstory. Like
It's true. It's true.
and
Same. I was homeschooled.
right. Yeah.
But not like the scary religious kind.
No, yeah, the scary religious kind.
Yeah, so there you go. See?
I was trying to make it better.
She also survived her backstory. Yeah. So I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about like heroes and villains and how the villains have a horrible backstory. And
Yep.
I always use myself as an example because like if I didn't turn evil,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear your story.
Mm.
And then they're like, but in comics, I'm like, no. Said stop. I said, Peter Parker lost his parents.
Mhm.
Then he lost the only other man in his life that he cared anything about.
Mhm.
And he still became Spider-Man. I like, stop.
Mhm.
Just stop. I don't even
Yeah.
care what your story is.
I'm not saying he's the reason I have an unhealthy guilt complex, but
But
I certainly read a lot of Spider-Man when I was a kid.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, don't, like, stop. Like, you can choose to be evil. You don't have to be.
Mhm.
Like, there's no
It's a
need.
choice you make.
Right. Like, I made my way out of Georgia. I'm fine. I'm fine now. It took me 18 years to get out. 19 years to get out, but I did. Graduated college when I was 19, got out,
Mhm.
ran.
I lived in kind of the Virginia part of Georgia, or the Georgia part of Virginia, however you want to put that.
However you want to look at it. Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. Yeah, and then Tess survived her trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Well, I mean, as fine as you can be.
We're doing our best.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Like, maybe I'm not a good guy, but I'm an okay guy.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I feel like-
Actively done harm.
Right.
I feel like I could say I'm all right for a white fella.
Yeah. I saved a turtle or two out of the middle of the road. Come on. Like, what more do you want from me?
Oh my god. Saved a turtle.
Right. I mean, you know, I've done my part.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
God.
nice. Can't get but so much out of me.
Yeah. Wow.
And also remember on back to free comic book day, because we can't imagine why we tangent. We are open 11 to 6 that day
11 to 6. Yeah, we close an hour early because it's a long day.
because I am worn out.
Yeah, we usually get here pretty early to make sure everything's set up.
Yeah,
and-
we're usually here Friday night.
Yep.
And then early Saturday morning to make sure everyone gets set up for everyone.
Yep. So about
and
6 o'clock on Saturday, we're like,
we're
get
out.
out. We're done. We're done with all of you.
Yeah.
And then there was that one year that people showed up at like 6:30 and they're like, why?
Yeah.
And we were like, bro.
Yeah, we got yelled at.
Yeah,
Well, that
they
was
were
the
real mad.
that was the year that it was my own fault because we usually have a dinner together after Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
And it was my own fault because I thought it would be cool to do a catered thing in the store. I learned my lesson. We then basically we just all leave the store. If there's no one in the store, we can't get yelled at.
Yep. True.
They can yell at the door all they want. I don't care.
Yep.
I'm gonna just sick Tess on them next time.
Yeah. I'll beat them up. I'll film them.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. I just want to see Tess filming someone and going, "What is it, Karen? What is it?"
Can you repeat that, please? I'm not blurring your face, by the way.
Next on Richmond Comics YouTube. That's going to be a new segment. Tess versus.
Well, good, because Tommy versus I don't want to do that again.
No,
That was bad.
no. That our versus days are over.
Oof,
Yeah, we're
Lord.
going to just leave it to Tess now.
man.
I'm down.
Fight.
Luckily, that crazy woman's no longer in politics here in Richmond, apparently.
What was her name?
Amanda Chase.
There you go. I was asked the other day. Jacqueline asked me the other day, and I'm like, I have no idea. Like
Amanda Chase.
I'm like,
Yep.
I'm like, when your own party runs you out of the state, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that you're.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a fun week.
No, it
And
wasn't. Not for me.
And when I
anyway.
say fun, I mean fun. Man, if we would have had the social media presence back then,
yeah,
like we do today, that would have really
That would've
blown
been
up.
really-
because it was like my
Yeah.
personal Facebook, and then they found the work, and then they
found me.
yeah,
How in the hell do you find me?
they were like, you should fire him. Manager Donovan should be fired.
It was funny. It was good
Yeah.
times.
But thank God they're over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
That was a bad week for me. I did not have a good
Because
time.
I'm sitting there going, do I answer? Do I just ignore? Like, I'm good at ignoring. I think I ignored.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I just
I mean, what else
ignored.
do you do?
What else do you do in
Yeah.
that situation?
We got a bunch of negative reviews on Facebook and Google, and then our regulars came in and gave us positive reviews that sort of balanced it out. It was
I mean, it's funny now.
yeah, now it's funny.
It's funny today.
But however many years ago that was, it wasn't funny to me.
That was at the old store too.
yeah.
That was down there. So that was
Yeah.
over 4 years ago now.
I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we had people calling from like Northern Virginia.
People who had never been even
Like,
close
They
to here.
never even stepped foot in Richmond or
Yeah.
Midlothian. And they were calling.
They were mad at me because I disagreed.
I can't
with her.
remember. Did they call? They never called the store.
I don't think
did
they called
Yeah,
here. It
I
was
think
all
it
online.
I
Like,
think it
that was
all
more
online.
effort than they
Yeah.
were willing to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they would have to talk to someone.
Yep.
Gross.
It was.
You guys only have 10 minutes left if we want to talk about something.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
If you want to. I didn't
here,
want
we'll
to
talk about
interrupt.
this one.
That's
It's
my pick of
Tommy's
the week.
Yep. Uncanny Valley. So this is the one where Logan and Scott go up into the mountains and they kind of hang out together for a week or two. And we can't
And like
really.
Jean shows up and she's like,
Yeah.
"Hey boys," and they're like, "Get out of here! You won't affect our love." This was a text exchange that we had.
Yes, it was.
Like
We've already
a
had
week
this
ago.
conversation a week ago. I'm sitting at work and Tommy sends me the list of all the variants, and I see Uncanny Valley, and just the word uncanny is like X-Men and Valley. I'm like, well, I mean, the movie was called Brokeback, but I mean, sure, Uncanny Valley works with Logan and Scott. All right.
Really, what it is a modern day Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's gonna be like some animated characters and some real people.
Real
So
person
this
here.
is the main character. Wait, where am I?
Yeah.
This is the
It's
main
reversed,
character.
so you gotta.
And this is his grandfather that he doesn't know about until the middle of the book when crazy stuff starts happening. And he's like, oh my God, things are crazy.
Yeah, so here's an idea of pages of like your real people,
Yeah.
right? And then here's a page of where we go. Hang on.
Grandpa shows
Yeah,
up.
real with animated.
Yeah.
So it's the tone of Roger Rabbit is what they're going for.
So basically, like the main character, he's like the new kid in school. And like these other kids have been like, hey, if you want to hang out with us, we're going to go to this bridge out in the woods. And he's like, all right, cool. And they're on the bridge and like, we're going to jump off. And he's like, okay. So these 3 teenage boys jump off a bridge and 2 of them break their legs and one of them hits the ground and it's like the cartoon cutout. And then like
this is page 3, people.
Yeah.
I'm not
and
spoiling
then
anything.
and then
so, yeah.
and then like the guidance counselor or whatever at school is like, what? And they're like, well, actually, we're gonna suspend him because not only did he jump off this bridge and the other kids broke their legs, but like he started a fire in school and this other thing happened. And like on the way home, his mom's like, you started a fire? And he was like, no, I ate a hot pepper. And like I heard this noise and then I blacked out for a second. When I woke up, my lunch tray was on fire. Because cartoon characters eat hot pepper and they breathe fire.
Right.
So he's got some traits because his grandfather's a cartoon,
Yep.
but doesn't know what's happening because as far as he knows, his entire family is him and his mom.
And when I showed you the different animation, it's the same artist.
Yeah.
The same artist is doing both styles. So it's really good. We met them at Comics Pro.
Yeah.
We talked to them for a while.
They're very excited about the book.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, this sounds like it might be fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I
they-
really, really enjoyed it.
They were very, very excited. for
God, yeah.
Sir.
Apologies.
I'm gonna have to pick that up now.
No, I'll get it.
Yes, you
Yes,
will.
I will. That's a lady's job.
No.
Whoa, whoa.
That is something you'll never hear me say. Nope. That's not going to happen. That was a trap.
It
No,
was.
it's
It
not.
was.
No.
You're welcome.
That is
Yeah.
people who know me know that is not a thing. I'm going down.
So Transformers, they're more than meets the eye.
You say that every week.
This was gonna be my pick of the week until I read Uncanny Valley.
Hey, look, it's Starscream destroying Soundwave. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Nothing in this cover happens in this book. Spoiler. Anyway, so Daniel Warren Johnson, who's been writing it and doing the art, he is
Just writing.
every other story arc he's going to take a break doing the art. I was midway through the issue when I realized, oh wait, this isn't his art. The artist they got, his style is so similar. I didn't notice.
I could tell immediately it wasn't him, but it wasn't enough to where.
Yeah, I was halfway through the issue before I realized.
Yeah, it did not throw you off.
Yeah, not at all. It's very similar.
And we got some flashbacks to actually Cybertron in this issue.
That's
which
one of the things.
Really cool.
Like, we finally kind of have an idea of what's up with Ultra Magnus, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, that picture.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and there's still something badass about Optimus having Megatron's arm.
Yeah.
With the cannon on it.
Yeah. God, it's so cool. Anyway,
yeah,
Transformers. To me, this Transformers
is number 7.
Run.
This is the beginning of a new story arc. Sorry.
Yes, it is. This issue could be a standalone issue. I don't know what the rest of the story arc is going to be, but this issue felt like this is a complete story in this issue. They're like they're dealing with some stuff that happened in the first story arc, and we're getting flashbacks of Cybertron, but really the main crux of this issue is the challenge of Decepticon leadership.
Yep.
And boy.
And then so a couple of issues ago, Optimus was dying.
Yeah.
And so then you had was it Daniel? Who's the dad? I can't ever remember getting him right.
Sparkplug? Or is he he's the kid?
It's Daniel and Spike, but I can't remember.
Spike's the kid, Sparkplug's the dad.
Yeah, so Sparkplug basically sacrifices himself and goes into the Matrix and lets the Matrix absorb him. And that basically repairs Optimus. But now Optimus is having issues.
He's having memories.
He's having memories of Sparkplug. And they're kind of not merging, but Optimus is now getting human memories. So I'm really kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where it's going. Sorry. I've really enjoyed Transformers quite a lot. I was a huge fan as a kid. And this is, speaking of things I was a huge fan of as a kid,
the Thunder Kittens, number 3. So the first 2 issues of this was basically starting to build. Now we're really getting into, it's still building, but we're getting into the story and kind of bringing everything together.
And we're getting the blend of like the mystical stuff that the Transformers, the Thundercats were into, and then like the real world stuff. Also, for those of you who are not haters, we get Snarf in this issue, and he's actually really cool.
Actually, this might be the best version of Snarf ever.
I agree.
Anyway,
I agree.
Because I was like, oh no, not Snarf, and it's not.
And then it's
not
really cool.
Yeah,
he's really cool.
Yeah, they do a good job with him. There is no Snarf or anything like that. It's not like the communication between him and Lionel is
it's
phenomenal.
Really cool. Where like they have like a telepathic bond, and so like Lionel's like, oh, I understand, and everybody's like, what? Wait, what is happening?
And I think the other thing, comparatively to the original Thundercats, so remember, Lionel was always 10.
Yeah.
Even in the original animated, and he grew up, right? Because his stasis pod was broken. So he was still asleep, but his body grew, but he was still 10. They're really hitting on that a lot more in here.
They are.
So we've gotten 3 issues of that, which is 3 issues more than we've ever gotten in any animated, really, of that, other than, he was this thing.
Panthro's kind of a dick.
I like Panthro.
like it's understandable.
So here's the thing with Panthro. Everyone's really getting on Panthro, and he is really just gruff, like, and I understand because at the end of the day, he's going to be right.
He's in charge of security.
Yeah.
And like they're on this weird planet.
And like everyone
Lion-O's not the kid he's supposed to be.
Right.
But they've got this random woman who has shown up and been like, "Oh, I'm
might
from
be
Thundera."
fine, she might not be, but
Exactly.
like Panther's like, why are y'all trusting her? We've known her for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And like everyone's trusting her, and it's
Lion-O's like, she's fine, and Panther's like, you're a teenager.
like, yeah, of course, yeah. That was my favorite. Yeah. Panther's like, dude, you're 12.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
of course she's fine.
Of course you think she's fine because she's fine.
Right. It's really how it went down, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Amazing Spider-Man new art comes out this week.
Yeah, if you enjoyed Hallows Eve, she's scarier in this than she was in her own book, and Ben is back.
Yay. And then we have Ultimate X-Men #2,
Yep.
which introduces a new character.
Which
right here.
kind of continues the idea that this is like a weird anime comic or a manga.
Manga.
It doesn't feel like a regular comic. It feels like a manga.
And that was actually the first 2 issues of that has actually been really good.
It's very good.
Like if you're going into Ultimate X-Men and you're like, I need an X-Men book.
Yeah, it's not a traditional X book.
No.
It is very much a almost like a horror manga.
Yeah. And the first 2 issues have been really good. Like I'm reading a book that's got X-Men title on it, but it doesn't feel like an X-Men book, and it's been really good.
And like if you read any of the oh my god, what is
Demon Days?
Demon Days? If you read any of the Demon Days stuff, oh right. And enjoyed that. This is very similar in tone. Peach Momoko's art in this, her sequentials are really good.
Yep.
Like normally we just see her do covers, but
yeah,
it's really
really
good.
Yep. Tess, do you have anything would you like to say tonight before we move on? Do you read anything good? Want to make announcements? Yell at anyone?
This Saturday at what time
Oh
is
my
it?
God,
Book club?
book club!
Oh, book club.
4
4
o'clock.
this Saturday, 4:00 book club. Come by. We'll talk about whatever books we're reading. I read a novel while I was in Puerto Rico that I cannot wait to talk about. I'm hoping between now and Saturday I get to read the sequel to it. We'll see how that goes. So anyway,
I will not be here.
he will not be here because he's going to a concert like some kind of nerd.
Well, no.
Anyway, I will be here. I'm very excited for book club. Saturday, 4:00. You should all show up. Even if you have only read a handful of comics or if you haven't really read anything, come talk about books. We just want to talk about things we enjoy.
We don't have a particular book.
Yeah,
You just talk
there's
about
not-
what you've been reading.
We're just going to talk about stuff that we enjoy. If you like talking about things you like, show up.
There you go.
It'll be awesome.
Yep. And I'll be at a concert. So
He'll be at a concert. I'll talk about things that we like.
I
It'll
will
be fine.
Too.
It'll be
great.
Tess. Yep.
It'll be so wonderful.
Yes, Tess will be here and I will be here. And
fun
we'll
time
talk about
to have
books.
Yep.
Yay!
All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back next week. We'll once again talk about Free Comic Book Day and maybe some few other stuff.
We'll probably talk about books more next week.
Maybe.
Maybe there's other
I
important
mean,
things.
you know, there was other things. You're good.
Bye, Felicia.